Edmund Kemper, serial killer, the mind of a monster. What if I told you that one of the most dangerous serial killers in history was not hiding in the shadows, but was sitting inside police stations, talking to officers, laughing with them, helping them understand criminals, a man who looked normal, spoke intelligently, and even appeared helpful. But behind that calm voice was a mind filled with darkness, a man who didn't just kill strangers, but murdered his own mother, and then calmly picked up the phone and confessed. This is not just a crime story. This is a journey into the mind of pure evil. This is the story of Edmund Kemper, the co-ed killer, childhood and early psychology. Edmund Emil Kemper III was born on December 18, 1948. From the outside, he was just another child. But inside his home, things were very different. His parents had a broken marriage filled with arguments and emotional tension. Eventually, they divorced. And young Edmund was sent to live with his mother. This decision would shape the rest of his life. His mother was extremely controlling, harsh, and emotionally abusive. She constantly insulted him, called him worthless, and blamed him for everything wrong in her life. She didn't see him as a child. She saw him as a problem, something dangerous, something she feared. And that fear led her to do something shocking. She forced young Edmund to sleep in the basement, not for punishment, but because she believed he might harm his sisters. Imagine being a child, rejected, isolated, treated like a monster, before you even become one. This emotional damage began to twist his mind, and soon, the darkness inside him started to grow. Disturbing signs. As Edmund grew older, his behavior became more disturbing. He started killing animals, not out of curiosity, but out of control and pleasure. He would keep parts of the animals, and later admitted that these acts made him feel powerful. By the age of 10, he was already talking about killing his mother. This was not normal childhood anger. This was something deeper, something dangerous. His mind was developing in a way that combined intelligence with violence, a deadly combination. First double murder. At the age of just 15, the darkness inside him finally exploded. He went to visit his grandparents. Something triggered him. A simple argument, frustration, or years of built-up rage. He took a rifle and shot his grandmother. But it didn't end there. When his grandfather came home, Kemper calmly waited, and then shot him too. 2 murders, committed by a teenager. When police asked him why, his answer shocked everyone. I just wanted to see what it felt like. No regret, no fear, just curiosity. Mental institution. After the murders, Kemper was sent to a psychiatric institution instead of prison. Doctors diagnosed him with paranoid schizophrenia. But Kemper was not like other patients. He was highly intelligent. He began studying psychology, not to heal, but to understand how doctors think. He learned how they evaluated patients. He learned what answers they wanted to hear. And slowly, he started playing a role of a reformed young man, a role of someone who was no longer dangerous. Years passed, and eventually the doctors believed him. Despite killing his grandparents, despite his violent history, they declared him safe, and at the age of 21, Edmund Kemper walked free, returned to society. After his release, Kemper tried to rebuild his life. He got a job. He socialized. He even formed connections with local police officers. Yes, police officers. He would visit bars where officers hung out, talk with them, joke with them, even discuss crimes with them. Imagine that. A serial killer, sitting among law enforcement, listening to how they investigate murders. But inside, nothing had changed. The darkness was still there, waiting. The beginning of serial killing. Living in California, Kemper noticed something. Young college girls often hitchhiked, trusting strangers for a ride. He saw opportunity. At first, he picked them up and let them go, testing himself, testing the situation, learning how it felt. Then one day, he didn't let one go. He drove her to a remote area and killed her. That moment changed everything, because now the barrier was gone, and the killings became frequent. Method, pattern, and brutality. Kemper developed a pattern. Pick up young female hitchhikers, earn their trust, drive them to isolated places, and then kill them. He used multiple methods: guns, knives, strangulation. But the most disturbing part came after death. He mutilated the bodies, engaged in necrophilia, kept body parts as trophies. Sometimes he brought heads home. These acts were not just crimes. They were expressions of deep psychological damage. The final break, his mother. But the real target was always his mother. Years of hatred, humiliation, rejection. It all built up inside him, until one night, it exploded. He killed her in her sleep, then committed acts so disturbing that even experienced investigators were shocked. This was not just murder. This was revenge. Years of pain, released in one moment. Confession and arrest. After killing his mother and her friend, Kemper fled. But something unexpected happened. He called the police and confessed. At first, they didn't believe him, because he didn't sound like a killer. But he insisted. And when they investigated, everything he said was true.